All right, good afternoon, everybody. And 30 more minutes to be afternoon here on the Pacific, the West Coast. But thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. My name is Zach Anderson. I'm the client engagement lead here at SafeAbroad, and I'm going to pass it over to the much more knowledgeable folks. Starting off with Nolan to walk us through this briefing for April of 2026. Take it away, Nolan. Thanks.
Thank you, Zachary. Hello, everybody. I'm Nolan Perrin. I'm the Intelligence Operations Manager here at SafeAbroad. Today, we're going to cover a few of the most impactful events to international travel this last month, and quite a few upcoming events that everybody should know about if they plan on sending their students abroad. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. On the left-hand side here, you'll see the incidents that we'll be covering today and the upcoming events. I will be joined by our fellow analysts as they go through and introduce themselves while presenting. And on the right-hand side, you can see a few of our reports that we've authored as well, a little further in depth. So let's get into it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Griffin Bain. I'm an intelligence analyst with SafeAbroad. I'm just going to quickly cover the Milan Cortina Paralympics, which took place from March 6th to 15th in Milan and Cortina in northern Italy. And the Winter Olympics in February and the Paralympics in March brought a total of over 2.5 million visitors to Milan and Cortina to witness the games. And during this time, the region saw heightened security and several travel delays occurred on multiple days. Um, and yeah, the region saw heightened security and travel delays due to the influx of travelers, and protesters rallied around Italy during both events in response to the presence of ICE agents, which were acting as security for American athletes, which resulted in several clashes with police. And during this time, travelers were advised to reconfirm their travel plans to ensure that there were no delays or cancellations and maintain situational awareness in crowds.
Hi, I'm Sarah Johnson. So from March 13th through 15 was the Formula One Grand Prix, which was held in Shanghai, China. Over 230,000 cumulative spectators attended China's Formula One Grand Prix weekend, causing congestion and road closures within the area. The event took place at the Shanghai International Circuit, which was located in the Jiading district of Shanghai, China. So this event included many other fan zones and interactive experiences in order to add to the tourism and overall experience of the weekend. So while no metro lines were shut down, local authorities did recommend the use of Metro Line 11 as well as the official shuttle bus. They recommended that people not use taxis or DiDis, as they're known in China, on a regular basis because of the road closures around the area. So during this weekend, the Baiyin Road, the Yining Road, Anqin Road, Anxiao Road, and East Yuanguo Road were closed. And travelers were advised to confirm travel routes before setting out, remaining vigilant in crowds, and also expecting long wait times for public transportation.
March 17th was St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, Ireland, and worldwide. But 500,000 people came to the city to participate in events, all formulating around the parade, which was the largest event. The route passed through major streets in central Dublin, going from Parnell Square over O'Connell Bridge and ending near St. Patrick's Cathedral. This resulted in road closures, pedestrian congestion, and an increased police presence. The Terrace Street Station, train station, was closed for the day, and trams between Smithfield and Connolly did not also run during the day. That's along the Red Line. That police presence included both visible police officers, or Garda, there in Ireland, and also it included plainclothes officers. So travelers were advised to allow for additional travel time and to also monitor the Dublin City Council website for road closure updates.
Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. I am a project manager and intelligence analyst here at SafeAbroad. On March 23rd, the Belgium government has deployed soldiers throughout Brussels, Antwerp, and Liège in response to several attacks against the Jewish community. This deployment is scheduled to last for about 3 months, but there's no current end date, so we approximate that it probably last through June. However, this deployment may be cut short and end earlier, or it may be extended and go on for a longer length of time. We simply do not know at this stage. Soldiers have been stationed at several Jewish institutions, including the Israeli Embassy, the Great Synagogue, and the largely Jewish area of Antwerp near Central Station. Past attacks that prompted this response by the government include an arson attack against a Jewish community and bombings at a Jewish school and synagogue. These attacks have been attributed to extremist groups who have committed other attacks across Europe, and the motivation for these attacks is believed to be in response to the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East. Travelers were and are advised to monitor the news for more information about the soldier deployments and possible threats against Jewish communities or Jewish populated areas in Belgium. And they're also advised to practice increased awareness and to report any suspicious activity that they see to the appropriate authorities.
Hi, my name is Thomas Gordon, and I am an intelligence analyst at SafeAbroad. And I'll be talking about the blackouts in Cuba. So Cuba's power grid collapsed on March 4th, March 16th, and March 21st amidst an energy crisis. These blackouts ranged from around 16 hours to 72 hours to get the power back on. So these multiple island-wide blackouts have left millions of Cuba without power. Right now, Cuba is also going through intermittent blackouts as well. For instance, Havana is going through blackouts ranging around 12 hours a day. This is happening because of a U.S. oil embargo that's halted any shipments to Cuba beginning early January. An exception was made for the oil embargo for a Russian tanker on March 31st, which docked in Havana, and it transported enough oil to fuel Cuba for around 10 days. However, additional blackouts are expected after this fuel runs out. Due to government mismanagement and frustration with the situation, anti-government protests are becoming increasingly common as well. Travelers were advised to confirm access to backup power and confirm a reliable water supply. And they were also told to charge non-essential, to keep essential electronics charged, and they were also advised to stock non-perishable foods.
Of course, this last month, there was unfortunately large developments throughout the Middle East, where the conflict in the Middle East caused destruction throughout the region. Following the attacks between the U.S. and Israel on Iran and retaliatory attacks, the degraded security environment prompted the Department of State to issue an order to depart by commercial means on March 2nd. This resulted in many hundreds of thousands of travelers being stuck amid over 21,000 flight cancellations, corresponding with those airspace closures and a heightened demand for flights. Airlines are still canceling flights across the region, mostly through April, but some cancellations even extend as far out to October. This has resulted in a global fuel shortage this conflict has. That's also impacting other regions outside of the Middle East, especially pertaining to jet fuel and jet fuel prices. So many airlines are switching to surcharges or considering them for fuel. And they're also dropping flights, the number of flights, in response to these shortages. So safe abroad travelers are advised to avoid travel to the Middle East at this time, if possible. So from April 7th through the 13th, there's going to be a doctor strike, a resident doctor strike in the UK. There's been several of these over the last few months. This one will start at 7 in the morning on April 7th and end at the same time. On the 13th, it is brought on by the British Medical Association right there, after rejecting the most recent offer from the UK's government over pay and working conditions. Emergency rooms are expected to remain open at this time. To give an idea as to the size of the impact, the British Medical Association there has over 200,000 members of its union. This affects doctor availability primarily at hospitals and at general practices, but to reiterate, emergency rooms will remain open at this time. So Safe Abroad travelers are advised to confirm their medical appointments before traveling and ensure that they have adequate supplies of their necessary medication.
Hi, my name is Maya Post. I'm another one of our analysts here at SafeAbroad. So today I'll be reporting on public sector strikes in Santa Fe, Argentina, that will be occurring from April 8th to April 10th. The strikes will last for 72 hours and they will impact healthcare services, public transportation, and administrative and government offices. Public transit is especially important here. Public buses or colectivos in Santa Fe are a major form of public transit, so we can expect some significant disruption there. The Federation of Municipal Workers Unions of Santa Fe organized the strike to demand higher wages and also more generally to denounce President Milei's labor reforms that have sparked protests and strikes across Argentina since February. Multiple unions, including this one, are worried that those labor reforms are going to be detrimental to workers' rights. We haven't seen announcements yet of any associated demonstrations, but we are going to continue to monitor that. Travelers are advised to reconfirm healthcare appointments, any appointments they have, and to monitor transportation schedules as well. And if any demonstrations materialize, travelers are advised to avoid them.
On April 10th, we will see air traffic workers nationwide strike for approximately 4 hours, which will cause significant travel disruptions during the strike and in the time immediately before and after the strike as airlines resume normal operations. The strike will last from 1 to 5 p.m. And like I said, any flights, not just during that period, but also before and after, are likely to be impacted. During previous strikes, major airlines, including ITA Airways, have canceled approximately 55% of flights that were impacted by these strikes, and other flights experienced significant delays as a result due to these strikes. These strikes are part of a longer-term pattern of strikes conducted by air traffic workers and unions since the beginning of 2026. So without additional negotiations, which at this time there do not appear to be any in the works, we expect that this trend of strikes will continue throughout the coming months. Safe Abroad travelers are advised to schedule flights outside of strike hours, and if they believe that their flight might be impacted, to reconfirm any flights that they have with their booking agencies. Travelers should be prepared for potential delays if they are flying in or out of Italy on that day, and to contact the airline for any updates if they are concerned.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha. I'm the Intelligence Program Manager here at SafeAbroad. On April 12th, the 2026 Schneider Electric Paris Marathon will take place in Paris, France. This historic annual race typically attracts around 50,000 participants, and we are expecting that same number. This race takes place across multiple prominent landmarks, including the Champs-Élysées, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Notre Dame, and the Musée d'Orsay. And we are expecting significant travel disruptions, such as increased traffic in affected areas and heightened security. We are advising travelers to adjust transportation routes, and travelers should monitor local media for any changes.
Hi, all. I'm Kira Andrews, and I am an intelligence analyst with SafeAbroad, and I will be discussing the Songkran Festival, which is in Thailand, over April 13 to April 15. Songkran is one of the largest celebrations in Southeast Asia and takes place every year, where some celebrations end up lasting up to a week. Chiang Mai is where the largest celebration often takes place, where hundreds and thousands of individuals participate. Other major celebrations often occur in Bangkok and Phuket. The festival itself originally comes from Buddhist and Hindu traditions, which marking the Solar New Year. Historically, it involves ritual cleansing and paying respect to elders, but as for today, the festival is best known for its large nationwide water celebrations. The celebration now consists of people pouring water on Buddhist statues for blessings. Younger people will gently pour water over the elders' hands as a sign of respect, and the streets of Thailand turn into a public water battle with the use of water guns, buckets, hoses, and ice water. The festival often attracts a large number of tourists internationally. Songkran is also referred to as the 7 dangerous days, and this is due to a spike in road accidents. The road accidents are often linked to alcohol consumption and the increase in travel during the festival. Many locals will wear bright coloured floral shirts during the festival, and waterproof bags and phone cases are widely used to protect the belongings during the water fights. SafeAbroad travellers are advised to plan travel in advance and allow for additional travel time. Travellers should also respect local traditions, such as dressing respectfully when visiting temples, and avoid splashing monks, elderly people, or babies, and also ensuring to maintain situational awareness during visit areas.
On April 15th, multiple labor unions will strike nationwide on the Netherlands for 24 hours. This is in response to a supposed wage freeze, where the Dutch government is proposing that there should be 160,000 civil servants will not have a promotion or increase wages for 2026. Gatherings are expected in multiple cities, including major cities such as Rotterdam and Amsterdam. And travelers are advised to plan alternative means of transportation and monitor local medias for updates on the strike.
Hello, I'm Nathan Pup, I'm an intelligence analyst here at SafeAbroad. So from April 14th to 16th, the Khmer New Year will happen in Cambodia. It will cause increased disruptions to travel, transportation, as well as security risks. Khmer New Year attracts millions of tourists each year. In 2024, it attracted 13 million domestic tourists and 100,000 foreign tourists. Celebrations for this festival include large festivals and water fights, although some water fights have been banned this year in certain major cities, including the capital. These festivals draw large crowds and increase police oversight. Transportation quickly fills up and many businesses will close early. So this is exacerbated by the blocking through the Strait of Hormuz. Cambodia gets a third of their oil from there, and so transportation services will be heavily disrupted during this. These celebrations will increase risk of pickpocketing in crowds and cause travel delays. So safe abroad travelers are advised to plan their transportation well in advance because it'll be hard to come by, and maintain situational awareness in crowds. Keep your belongings in some waterproof containers and expect travel delays.
And on April 21st through the 24th, there will be staggered 24-hour strikes across the London Underground Network, aka the Tube, that will cause extensive disruptions. Approximately 10,000 staff will strike from 12 p.m. on that Tuesday to 12 p.m. Wednesday. Then 24 hours will pass before the next strike from 12 p.m. noon on Thursday to noon of Friday. This is expected to cause major disruptions along trains in the tube, mainly because RMT, the union that called this strike, represents 2/3 of all tube staff. And at this time, there are no further negotiations where this could be called off. That is always subject to change, but at this moment, there are none of those talks ongoing. So safe abroad travelers are advised to adjust their transportation routes and allow additional time for travel, especially as this date approaches. And at this time, I will turn it back over to our client engagement lead, Zach.
All right, thank you so much, team. That was wonderful. appreciate all of the insight for the past events, and also this coming up April is going to be, looks like, quite busy. So thank you all for attending, and we've got a few minutes. We can happen to hang out and answer any questions you may have about a particular event or anything else. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week, and you can always get in touch with us here at contact@safeabroad.org, and also you can get a hold of me at Zach@safeabroad.org as well. And happy to chat with you about anything about your institutional organizational needs. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day and week. Thank you.